So today we are going to start with some of our scratch paper. It's going to be beige. Sorry about my charcoal hands. I've been organizing charcoal, but we're going to be using newsprint for our first sketch just to get the form down. But we're going to also need to get one of these foam boards. It's a little bit thicker. That's where you're going to puncture your ribbon in. Your ribbon's going to become one of your letters, like initials. So if you have some difficulty, just remind yourself that you're not going to, you can always change it if you don't like it the first way. So let's start. I like planning out, and this is the pens that we'll be using. There's a very important instruction with these so you don't bend them or go through the board. Okay, I'm going to kind of plan out maybe my S going here and then wrapping around going this way. So I'm going to get a pen. I'd grab a few just for yourself so other people can use it. So that's what I brought to my table. And I'm going to pin it, but I'm not going to go directly in. I'm going to go at an angle, and I try to, maybe go the other way. I like going with the ribbon a little bit more just so it doesn't look so abrupt. I'm going to push it in, but not all the way. See how it's angled if I tilt it to the side? It should be going diagonally in as close to the board as you can, okay? So, not going through it straight up and down vertically, okay? My next pen, I'm going to move it over here. I'm going to pin it down like that. I am trying to create bend and movement within my ribbon. So I'm going to twist it the other way. And I'm going to pin as I go. The more curves, the better. Twist and turns. Okay. And then I can always tuck in my letter if I don't want the tails to show. So like if I want to go back and fix that, I can. So just because you put one pin in doesn't mean that you can't undo it and fix things. So do that before you start drawing it. So for this one, maybe I want to go underneath so I don't see that edge. This paper, I'm going to need my pencils just, for use. And then I have a tortillon for when I get to my final paper, eraser. If you haven't used this one yet, someone had done pastel, but what I would do is to sharpen it, and you just need to do an edge to when you start shading and blending, okay? So let's start with our HB. Be careful, this paper does tear, but I want you to start kind of enlarging this onto your board. I know this is a little bit more square, so I'm going to act like my board is up here and right here. And then I'm going to kind of measure where I'm seeing it. So because I'm seeing at a different angle, you guys are seeing down, but I'm seeing across. So I'm going to see a little bit of a different margin and measurement than what you might see above. I'd highly recommend measuring it first before you get into any detail, because if the proportions are off, it's going to look all really weird the whole drawing through. So you really want to make sure you get the angles correctly, and then also kind of alter anything at this point so that way it can match up better. So it's going to be very sketchy. This is drawing from observation. So it's a very good skill that we'll continually use for drawing and art. Like, it's good for different skill sets like painting too. You're drawing from what you see, similar to the contour drawings from Intro. Okay, so I've sketched out my plan for drawing this. Just know whenever you shift and move like your body, your head, from looking at your paper, it's going to change. So this is the beautiful thing about, drawing from observation. My view is kind of like this for you. So see how that's kind of lined up. My ribbon's kind of dipped down right here, so I might need to fix that. And then I've noticed that I got some space in here, so I might need to change it because I laying mine down, so I might have more space down here, so I got to move it. So check your work between the two. It should match up, just kind of seeing the difference there. I've exaggerated some parts, but I can always go back in. Your goal is to eventually get rid of most of this outline when you get to shading. So if you need to practice shading, I would probably lighten up all my lines, get rid of any of the lines I don't need first. And then whenever I go in shade, I want to make sure blend it out, or that I can end up having harsh value change, so there's no outline, okay? So that's your practice. Eventually you'll get to your final, and you're going to kind of make it look as realistic as possible. I'll attach a few different pictures of someone's artwork, or of other students' artwork, so here you go. Thank you guys for listening. Appreciate it.